celebrate their 5th super chat on live stream. So this is your 5th super chat. Thank you so much, Rich. 100-inch UK8 Arcam 21. I want 13.1 center height, voice of God, and still maximize Atmos. If you're new home theater, what direction you go in? Percentage of movies, shows using 3D Upmix? I don't know. Let's see here. Arcam 21. So what do we got with the Arcam 21? I think I have the Arcam 11. So the Arcam 21 is 7-channel. I'm looking at. Let me bring it up on the screen here with Aaron's favorite site, Crutchfield. There we go. Okay. Arcam AVR 21 says it's 7.2, but you want 13. That means there's some sort of preamp, pre-outs, right? What am I doing? Let me just go to the back. To the back. All right. What do we have here? So preamp out. We've got front left, front right, surround left, surround right. Yeah, you're going to need something bigger than this. You want 13.
Can I make a recommendation with regards to the 13.1 Oro with the center front height?
Oh wait, there's a whole lot here. Okay, I'm wrong. There's a whole lot. There's preamp out for height 1, height 2, and then channel 13, 14, and 15, 16. So yeah, you can totally do this. Anyway, go on, Joe. I'm gonna look at
this. I have a 13.1 with the center height and voice of God. I don't know that those are the two that I would go with looking back. I think I would prefer to have top middles, something like that, or surround heights maybe. I feel like that's a better use if I wanted to do that. Or maybe even if you can, front wides, I think just the extra channels, there's better use for it than the center front height and voice of God, just simply because, I like Oro for its upmixing. When you're upmixing a movie, it's not going to try to upmix too much because it's not trying to make the voice go up there. So right. Dialogue in a movie is mostly coming from the center channel. So it can't upmix that because the content is mostly coming from the center, but it's dialogue. So it doesn't want to put it up. It needs to be almost like native content for it to utilize the front height. And then voice of God, our hearing is horrible up here. So having it up there is almost like, I don't know. I think surround heights or top middles will give you a better experience overall. It'll give you that sense of height up here, but then it's also useful if you have an Atmos track where it can use 6 height speakers. Atmos can't use a voice of God. It doesn't know what to do with that.
It doesn't. I would rather, and since now they have changed the Auro-3D, so you can use middle or top middle in ceilings as your voice of God. They just they can support it now, so that's cool. I would go with 6 height channel. You're doing 13. I would do 7 ear level, 6 heights. That's what I would do to get the most. Essentially, what you're doing there is you're having the equivalent amount of height channels for the bed layer minus the center channel, right? So so you've got, so if we take the center channel out of the equation, we've got 2 fronts, 2 mid, and 2 rears. And so on your height layer, you have 2 fronts, 2 mids, 2 rears. So you're just mimicking like Wilfried said, you're getting that second quadraphonic layer of sound, which in our case is actually a 6. What is a quad? 6. It's a septuple. I don't know.
Quad. Quad's 4, right?
Quad. Yeah. But yeah, that's essentially it. You're getting another layer of sound, mimicking the exact same configuration in your bed layer, and I think that's going to provide the best outcome as far as all of the formats are concerned. DTSX, Dolby Atmos, and Auro-3D. Oh, and IMAX Enhanced. Gotta throw that guy in there too.
Yep.
Yeah, he's saying yep over there.
What else?
Those arrangements. This is a great info, Joe. You're very welcome, Rich. Thank you again for the super chat. We appreciate it. Let's give a hand for Rich.
It did the slow clap on me, and I just think I'm supposed to be doing something, guys.
Hello.
Here's Rich coming in again. A second half of the question is: when you guys are watching your movies or streaming shows, what percentage of your viewing is in native Atmos versus upmixing, and is your upmixing mostly Auro? I'll jump in real quick. My upmixing is mostly Auro. Depending on what show I'm watching. If it's a show that's like a TV show that doesn't have any kind of Atmos, definitely Auro, right? Any kind of 5.1 music. I love using the Auro, especially after Magic Beans. The bass kicking. You know, when I go pure direct and go straight to Auro-3D with music after, which incorporates Magic Beans, it is like, holy shit. Who let the dogs out of this AVR? Like that's kind of like.
Oh man, we're getting old, bro.
Dogs out.
We're getting old.
Like where did this come from? And then you go back to pure direct. I'm like, this sounds like ass. Like,
Hey,
like the difference is just it is night and day. This is day. This is night. There's all kinds in between.
You're gonna get into a song here.
Yeah.
So okay.
Oh, how about the I'll Be Sure?
Yeah.
I think about you all. No. Dang it. What was that song? I just had it in my head.
Day and night.
And day.
Night.
Oh my god.
How I feel about you night and day. That's it. That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay. There we go. Hold on.
There it is.
I'm gonna add to playlist.
I'll be sure. I think that was his name, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So Joe, how much you upmix? Well, what percentage would you say you upmix?
What percentage do I upmix? Well, here's the thing about Auro-3D is it enhances the bass. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes I don't want it to do that. Like some of my systems are like,
Stop giving me more bass, dude.
My system already has lots of bass, dude. Please don't. I know I need no assistance, right? But on certain music, where they're maybe a little bit bass shy, throw on Auro, and I'm like, it's like hooligan mode. You know what I mean? Hooligan on the bass, and then when you go back from that, you're like, oh man, what happened to the bass? So I understand that it's more bass, and sometimes I just like more bass. If I were mixing some of these tracks that I'm listening to, I'd be like, dude, I'm crank up that bass, bro. What's wrong with you guys? So I think that's part of it, but also the spatial aspect. So to answer the question, for music, music enjoyment, if I'm just kind of just listening, not critically, I like it. If I'm really like, okay, what is this track doing? How's stuff panned? And if it was made for stereo, it's better to listen in stereo to see what's actually happening, right? No upmixing at all. But for most TV, YouTube is not, it can handle up to 5.1, but very few people are making anything in 5.1 on YouTube. Thing is mono most of the time. So I'm like, it can help. It helps with that because it really, I don't know what it does to the center, to be honest. Even though I analyzed it, I didn't realize like it's doing something where it's kind of like drawing everything to the center, maybe using still some of the left and right speakers, but it doesn't sound like what is that? Stereo spread? Is that what it's called? Center spread on Dolby Surround Upmixer. It's not that where it's just making it across all the speakers. It's really like, I don't know what it's doing to the center, but it sounds better with Auro-3D, and it sounds like it almost, I don't know what it's doing. I like what it's doing, basically. What percentage of that? So most music, most TV, and then for movies, if it's in Atmos, I give Atmos a chance. I just say,
all we are saying is give Atmos a chance.
I give it a chance. I'm like, if it's not, I'll watch a few, I let it get to the action scenes. And if it's not popping off by that time, I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm switching it over.
I was impressed by the Atmos track for Dead Reckoning, and those the car chase scenes. And all kinds of stuff's happening in that. Dude, they did a great job.
Yeah.
They did a great job on that. So
for sure, like Dune, right? We used that in your video where I calibrated your system. There's no need for any upmixing of Auro. What's you turn? You're like, oh,
Dude, we turned it up.
what's happening?
So normally I'd be at like -10. Joe saw me turn it up to like -3. He's like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Yeah, let's check it out." You know, it's like when I go test drive a car, you know, and it's supposed to have some good pickup. What's going on with Aaron?
He's like we're talking about Auro and Atmos, and
got it.
and then he's just like straight.
I mean,
straight.
I'm listening, but I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah. You know, and as soon as I did take that car onto the on ramp, dude, I floor it, bro. That's what you're supposed to do on a test drive. So I was test driving it out, and man, yeah, and that was just from streaming too. That was just from streaming. So, since I don't have my Blu-ray discs or my Zapedi or my NAS or anything like that, you know, it's hard. I'm like, man, I feel like I just need to start looking into streaming some more because I don't have all of that gear or all that equipment. You know, all that was kind of left in my old home. So, yeah, dude, it's pretty good. There's going to be stuff that you don't want to upmix. Right.
So the percentage on, let's say, a movie, I think that maybe is what he's asking. I stream, right? I usually use Disney Plus, Netflix, you know, streaming services. I know, right? Sorry.
Not everybody.
But for the most part, it's just the convenience. And I would say I probably upmix like 90% of the time. You know, I give every single native Atmos track a chance. You know, maybe 20% of the time I'll use Atmos at most. But my guess is really like,
20%.
20% Atmos, and then the rest I end up just wanting to upmix.
Yeah.
Anyway, other people may be different though.
Make sure to check out our audio-only version of the podcast at anchor.fm/Daily HiFi, or just go to your favorite podcasting service and search for Daily HiFi.